I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver, I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest, though. I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, I got to tell you, you should be jealous back in that studio because we have a beautiful late summer afternoon for football here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Redskins, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
55. Here we go. 36.
Carr now on first down. And incomplete to open things up. Jaron Brown, the intended target. But it'll be second down. Offensive starters, here they are. David DeCastro, what do you think about him, Charles?
Brandon could not have been better trained at Stanford. So well schooled in the run. Game and the pass game, and especially in pro principles. David DeCastro could be an all-pro in the years to come.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're a tough unit to throw against, currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Now Carr. This is caught by Williams. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A toss to Cook. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he...
And that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10.
Go! 15-1.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve, because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. You got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Now Cook running right. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 17 yards that time and a Washington first. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they would have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Montez Sweat leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
We're good. 185.
Now Carr. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs.
Let's go. Now.
Carr now on 1st down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Aaron Donald with a sack.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. Carr down a throw. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Hayden Hurst His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. The Cleveland offense ready to go. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here. They could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. On play action. Now Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On 2nd down, Williams. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, Doug.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well. And they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried. Because a lot of times, that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And now Derek Carr. He is the focus of our player spotlight. He's playing. The Browns drive about to get started. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49. Myles Garrett in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. If you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break.
Ready? 8, read. 54.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage there by Trayvon Mullen.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Tucker's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Cleveland offense ready to go. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And in the second quarter, it's the Bears who are out in front. Phillip Rivers, 4 touchdown passes. From there, we head up to Wisconsin to check out the Packers at home in Lambeau. And you can see there is the visiting Colts who have the lead in that one. Drew Lock, 4 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting Tennessee Titans. In our game has been the play of Derek Carr that's led the way. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Now after the INT, it's Carr. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Aaron Donald able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
To try again after the sack. Carr throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Here's Jacobs. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Josh Jacobs with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is up to 18 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. This is caught. Watkins. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
56, right there, 56.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Carr now on 3rd and goal. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down near the 5. He's at the 50. The 30. The 20. 10. 5. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Redskins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it hit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction, excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Right now, you lady. Got double time. 40.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Jaron Kearse in on the tackle. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. This is caught by Hearns.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
After that throw, and it was definitely one that he would love to have back, I wonder what's going through his head. I wonder what kind of mind game he's playing with himself to get himself back on track. Because a lot of guys, that's what they do. They have little triggers that when the mechanics are off or if they make a bad throw, that they go to that place to get themselves back in sync. Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half.
Check right 54, 954. 6 man.
On 1st down, Taylor, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd down.
They go to the ground again with Taylor.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Get ready.
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the 3rd as we're through 3 quarters of play. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Taylor. And coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. The Redskins on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Taylor, and he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right, they did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep. Maybe
even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
Flush to his right. And that's complete to Cooks. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker. And you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They turn to Taylor on 4th. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are back within a single score. They'll drop to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense. Right?
That's true. You've said that before. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, though. He's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Throwing now is Carr to the right side and complete to Hurst. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
He gets it to Brown, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. On the ground, this is Williams. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. And the grab by Croft. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs.
I remember being taught that cliches had become so for a reason. A lot of times they're true, right? What's that they used to tell us about letting sleeping dogs lie? But this one wasn't sleeping, maybe it was just slumbering a little bit. But taking that gamble there, you've got the lead. You may have ignited them now they stopped you.
That's exactly right. If you take the points here, you don't shift momentum necessarily on that play. You probably just did. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Lawrence Guy in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. On third down, Taylor, and able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Back to throw.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first. Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. He's going to let it fly, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. This defense looking impenetrable now. 3 straight incompletions. They're giving him nowhere to go with the football. Maybe a little frustrated back there.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. When you've missed on 3 straight, there's going to be some frustration. But now he's got to make sure that that frustration is temporary, not lingering. Big throw coming up.
He's back to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Cleveland, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.